member, Ugochi Obidego. Am I correct? I tried. So Ugochi is a social development strategist with a specialty in creating product programs and providing policy advisory on pressing development issues affecting young Africans. Our major work pillars are around ensuring child safety, reducing substance abuse in youth, and providing strategy for social impact initiatives. She is the author of a child safety storybook series available in English and French. She's also a co-creator of an online safety games for children and developer of social impact apps, the Safety Chick Compass and program. Over 8,000 children in Nigeria and Ghana have benefited directly from our Train Them Young initiative. Our book are self-published on Amazon and have sold in several countries. In order to reduce substance abuse, she rolled out a program where she equips recovered drug users in the northern part of the country with relevant digital skills to aid smooth reintegration to society. Ugochi is a 2016 Young African Leader Initiative Regional Leadership Center Fellow. She's also 2018 Tony Elumelu Entrepreneur. She's also 2018 Mandela Washington Fellow and 2018-2019 Regional Advisory Board member of the Fellowship, preferring advice to USAID and IREX on matters concerning the fellowship. In 2020, she was listed alongside Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Angelique Kidjo, Peace Hyde, and others on the We for Good list of 100 women creating a better Africa in commemoration of International Women's Day in 2021. Her work in safety education during the pandemic was featured by the UN OHCHR. Her work has footprint in several countries and in both local and foreign media. Not to say so much, let's proceed. Today, we'll bring forward Ugochi. Ugochi, over to you. You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Okay, hi everybody. Good afternoon. Okay, it's morning on my end, but it's afternoon in Nigeria. Good afternoon. I'm joining you from my house in Manhattan in New York. Thank you so much. I call him Sir. I greet him Sir. Every time he sends me a message on WhatsApp. Thank you so much, Mr. Dewale, for inviting me. I'm always happy to speak and share with young people because I believe that if we all know what we are supposed to do early will make our decisions easier. It's smoother to make certain choices and we achieve things faster. So I believe that those who know or who have gone ahead should be willing to share their experiences with others to shorten their learning curve. So the fact that something took me long to achieve does not mean those coming after me need to go through that long process. No, I went through it so that you can shorten your own learning curve. So I'm delighted to be here to speak with you on a very important topic. So I'm going to share my screen now so that we can talk about it in a very systematic manner. So this is my screen. Confirm you can see the PowerPoint slide. Please let me know in the...
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So our topic today is safety net for teens, developing good relationships and communication. So I'm the managing partner of the Safety Chick Limited. It's a child safety social enterprise. Mr. Dewale has already introduced me, so these are just highlights. We recently reorganized everything we do in our organization into two major organizations. So we have a child safety social enterprise, and now we have a nonprofit, a faith-based nonprofit called UGIP Foundation. I'm a TEDx speaker, author of books, convener of the annual School Safety Summit. We are having our 6th edition next month, and we'll be launching one of our very new products, and I'm so excited about it. And of course, a developer of social impact apps. So to our topic for today. So most of the complaints that, I get from young people is stuff like, I don't have friends, I feel lonely, my parents don't get me, or I'm not even going to bother talking. When I talk, they don't even understand. So please share with me in the comment section, what are the common things that you have either said yourself or you've heard your own fellow young people complain about when it comes to this, your age group? You guys are like the millennials, right? So share with me, what are your own thoughts? Do you have similar complaints, or have you heard, people within your age group talk about this? So since I know that you all love interactive classes, I would love the comment sections to buzz. Once I ask a question, I'd like you to respond. Once I say something that resonates with you, feel free to also comment, share your thoughts, share your experiences, because I want this to be as interactive as possible. Okay, very good. I'm seeing the comments. So Tolu says, I'm not capable of doing that. It's not been done by anyone. Another person says, yes, if I talk now, they would laugh at me. Exactly. Like it's better to be alone so I don't get hurt. I see sometimes these are things that we tell ourselves because of no one cares for me. We tell ourselves because of the experiences we have had. And sometimes because of those experiences, we just decide that we are going to put up a defense mechanism in place just to ensure that we don't get hurt. But the truth is, we were not made to be alone. We were not created to function in silos. If you check it, the people that do great stuff, they always have that system of support around them. And if you also notice, there are those who have gotten to the peak of their careers, everything was going fine. And then you wake up one day and you see on CNN, they committed suicide. Very recently, I think it was either in February, right here in Manhattan, one of Miss USA, I think Miss USA, one of the top beauty queens, jumped down from her apartment. And she was staying in one of the best places. I mean, this is someone who has won on world stages. She was known all over. She had life going for her based on what you and I see. But she jumped to her death. And then the letter she left to her mom, and from information that came later, it was that, oh, she was depressed and stuff like that. So many times, the defense mechanisms you put around yourself may not, in fact, not may, it will not serve you. It will not. And so we have to now decide, so how can I ensure that I still have good relationships regardless of what is going on? Because as bad as you think it is that people would laugh, there are those who are actually waiting to hear from you. There are those friendships that are waiting for you. And because you have put certain limitations in place, you are not even going to be able to take advantage of it. And so today, we are going to be talking about this, and it's my hope that by the end of this session, you are going to see practical ways to make life better for you in developing relationships. So I have 5 major power tips for you. And the first one is identity. And I have a quote here on the screen that says, let him or her that wants friends first show himself or herself friendly. Many times, we all start all these our complaints with I'm not like this, or me. There's always that I or me factor when we want to complain. But have you thought about the fact that you should begin to think of how you can be a help to somebody else as opposed to waiting for people to come and help you? And so one of the first I'm going to talk about now is your identity, because you cannot build a house that would last if your foundation is faulty. And the foundation that is required for building a bungalow is totally different from the foundation that is required to build a skyscraper. So identity is the foundation that is going to be, you are going to build good relationships and friendships and every other thing on. If anything is wrong with your identity, it's going to affect other places. If your identity is broken, it's going to spill over even into the friendships and stuff that you are trying to get. How are you going to do this? You have to go into the school of yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to study yourself. And I'm here with like leading questions that are going to help you. So the first question is, who are you really? Who are you? What are the anchors that hold you down? What can you say that if somebody were to hear something about you, for example, they say, no, Ugochi can't do that. I know Ugochi. So how have you positioned yourself to people, whether it's friends, family, colleagues, that would make them to be able to speak for you? So who are you? And one of the ways to know who you are is to have anchors such as spirituality. So I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and I know that we probably have different religions on this call. So you've got to know what is it, what spirituality anchors you. Because when you understand that there is somebody other than yourself, it helps you try to know how can you anchor yourself. So because I know what God says about me now, and I know what he says about my future, it's very easy when somebody comes and says something to me, or somebody tries to project a failure or something to me, I'm quick to tell myself, nope, that is not true, because I know who I am. So that is the spirituality aspect of it. The next part is you need to know what is your personality type. And I know some of you would think, okay, personality type, is that really a thing? It is a thing, because the truth is, the people have done research to say people that act in so and so way, they are most likely like this. And then when you actually check it, you can see that, okay, this is me. Maybe this one is not really me. It doesn't mean that your result in a personality test is exactly who you are 100%, but to a very large extent, it would show you a picture of who you are. I always recommend for people to go to 16personalities.com, because the reason you have to know your personality is when you know who you are, it helps you know the traits you have that you need to work on and change. And it helps you know the traits you have, which are exceptional, which are very good, so that you can work on it and amplify it. Because when you know who you are and what you carry, it's now easy. You are in a place of rest because you know that, okay, I'm really great at speaking. So maybe I don't want to write a book, but I'm going to convert my knowledge to speaking opportunities. So maybe what kind of speaking do I like? Do I want the ones where it's just one-on-one, or do I thrive when I'm the one on the stage speaking? You've got to know, because when you know, it helps you to organize other things around your life. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to ask you now is, what are your core values? As a human being, you are a company and you are the CEO of that company. It's not only organizations that should have core values. You should have a core value. What are your core values? What are the things that no matter what, you are not going to do them? And what are the things that when your name is mentioned, those are the values that should be associated with you? Personally, I have 5. I even have an acronym for it. It is SELIR, Selir. S stands for spirituality, because I believe in God and I know that God is my anchor. A lot of things that I know and I do flow out from him. And so I don't joke with my spirituality. E stands for excellence. I believe that whatever has been committed to my hands to do, I am going to do it well. Whether it is one person watching, nobody watching, or 1,000 people watching, I don't care. I will do it well. Excellence. So you've got to have the trait of being excellent at what you do, such that even if maybe years down the line, they say, oh, it's no more, it's now outdated. But when they do the research, they can say that at the time this was done, it was best in class. So for me, excellence is so important. Anybody that is working with me, I always tell them, no shoddy jobs here. You've got to do it well. L stands for love and friendships, because I am a love being. I understand that we all thrive when there are people that love us and people that care about us. We want to have those people that if we have any challenges whatsoever, we can call them and know that they are going to be there for us. So it's very important to me. I don't thrive in drama. I don't have drama friends. Please, I like peace. As I'm like this, I love peace a lot, so that's L. Then I stands for impact. I believe that whatever I am doing here in this world, it must make the life of someone else better. So even if it's in my personal life or in the business, is a non-profit that I am doing, that is a core. Impact must be made. So I am here today. You may never see me again in your life, but I want you to know that at the end of our session today, at least there will be one thing I have said that you're going to take on with you. And that is fine. I don't care how many you are on this call, but that is fine with me. So impact is very important. And then R is for resourcefulness, because As you go through life, or as I have gone through life and will continue to go through life, I understand that surprises are going to spring up. Am I not going to say, oh, I'm not doing again? No, I have to be resourceful. I have to ask myself, how can I make my little to become much? So as I'm speaking to you about core values, I want you to begin to think, what are the things that matter to you? What core values matter to you? And as you begin to think of them, write them down. If you want to drop them in the chat box, please do, but write them down and begin to create something for yourself, because this is super, super important. So you need to know what your core values are. The next thing is you need to know what are your likes and your dislikes. If you don't even know what they are, you will be like, you know that thing they will say in Nigerian pidgin, anywhere belle face. You are not an anywhere belle face, no. You should know what you like and what you don't like. And it makes it easy so that when people begin to bring things in your direction that you know does not align, you can speak up about it. And you can also take yourself away from context that puts you in things that you dislike. And when you begin to see people demonstrate certain personality traits that you don't like, you will take yourself out of that drama. But it comes from having that self-awareness, sitting down with yourself, having a board meeting with yourself. Look at this lady on the screen. I intentionally brought a picture of somebody writing and a computer, because you've got to know yourself so well. Do a research on your own self. If you don't do the extra work of knowing who you are and what you stand for, you're going to fall for anything. Then you've got to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. That's one of the things that personality test can do for you. It will show you what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and how you can leverage your strengths and how you can diminish your weaknesses. Because if you know what your strengths are, then you go the extra mile to amplify it. Take it to Harvard, like my mentor would say. When she says take something to Harvard, it means learn it to the mastery level so that you are the best whenever they call that thing. And then when you know what your weaknesses are, you begin to ask yourself, how can you manage it? Because your personality type is not everything that you need to thrive in life. It's not everything. It's just a down payment. It's the initial basis for you to build every other thing. So when you see that, okay, so my weakness is so and so, and then you ask yourself, okay, what can I do to diminish it, at least reduce it? Because nobody is perfect, but how can I reduce it as much as possible and amplify the strengths? Then the next thing is you need to know what empowers you or what disempowers you. It's very important, because this is why a lot of people are finding themselves in drama-filled friendships, because you don't even know that this thing is sucking life out of you. So if you know that being in a space with young minds like this, who are forward thinking, who know where they are going to, having those honest conversations, if you know that it empowers you, stay plugged in. Don't be a backbencher, don't be a backbencher. Be involved, put in yourself there. Also assess other areas of your life. Is there something that happens in your place of worship that empowers you? Is there something that happens in your school that empowers you? Is there a group you belong to that empowers you? Get there more. Anyone that you see that it drains you, reduce your presence there. See, nature abhors a vacuum. You can't just say, oh, I'm not doing this again, and you step out. What are you going to feel in that space? If you don't feel something positive in that space, another negative thing would go there. And that is why you must know the one that empowers you and the one that does not empower you. So when you find the ones that disempower you, remove them, take the one that empowers you, put it in that space. So you've got to know, nobody can do this assignment for you. You have to have a PhD in yourself. Know who you are, know your core values, know what you like, know what you cannot tolerate, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, because these are the things that build up your identity. And then the next thing will now be, now that you know some of these things, how can you fuel your energy enhancers? So for example, I know that I love to be in a community of leading women who know where they are going to, who are visionary, who are doing groundbreaking work. And so I stay plugged in. I always make sure that I'm plugged into that coaching relationship. A coaching relationship I had with my coach ended sometime in February, but I joined the next membership for another 1 year. I'm plugged in because I know that when I sit down there, when we are talking about how we want to change the world, how we want to change Africa, it makes the baby in my womb leap. And I'm like, yes, this is why I came to this world, to make an impact. And then the ones that deplete my energy, I remove them. I was still having a conversation with a friend yesterday that I realized something about a lady who came into my life. And I realized that, okay, she probably had funny motives. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm still going to be nice to her, but it means she's not my friend. So if she reaches out to me, she wants to do something, oh, well, I'm going to help her. But I know that she's not going to come into my inner circle because I don't want that drama to drain my energy. I need my energy to create stuff, to solve the problems I'm solving in the world, to be happy and be at peace. I don't want energy drainers. So identify yours and remove them, or reduce the amount of times you have to be with them. Because I understand that sometimes some of these energy drainers, they can be family. You can't really throw your family members away, right? You can't throw them away. But what you can do is you can reduce the amount of time you are put in that space where your energy is sucked, and love them from a distance. It is possible. So the first power tip is what? Please give it to me in the comment section. What's the first power tip? Let me be sure that we are all following. I'm waiting to read your comments. Or am I the only one left on this call? That would be very strange. Let me confirm. Okay, I can see other people. Okay, yeah, there are other people. So the first power tip that I gave to you, give it to me in the comment section. Identity. Thank you, Franca. Yes, awesome. So the first power tip is identity. So moving on to the next one. The second one is support system. And we have a quote here that says, there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And this is because already, Mr. Dewale already mentioned it, how some of you have already spoken about the fact that your support systems, when you were talking about maybe now parents and family, they don't really understand you, or they're not really there for you. And you see, sometimes God helps us by bringing other people to fill that void. He brings friends, he brings colleagues, he brings classmates to fill that void for us. So a support system is very important because nobody is an island. I saw one of the comments that said, I will just stay on my own so that I don't get hurt. So that's a mistake. And it's a trick that is used to isolate us, because it is very easy to destroy somebody that is isolated than if the person is with a support system. If you are by yourself and all those funny thoughts keep on playing in your mind, because it is said so much, it's going to drown out the real thing. And at some point, you will begin to believe those words you are hearing. But if you hear those voices, right, but then you have this support and say, oh, no, that's not true. You're fantastic. You're intelligent. And as you know, you did this, you did that. They're powering you. And so it's difficult for you to be taken out because you are not isolated. And so it's really important that we have support systems. So how can we leverage our support systems, or how can we improve our support systems? The first thing I'm going to say here is that you need to know who are the current existing relationships in your life that care about you. So maybe your father does not understand you, your mother does not understand you, but is there one auntie somewhere, or one uncle, or one grandparent that gets you? Look, just assess your life currently. There has to be one person, because I don't believe that God is just going to throw you into space and let there not even be one person that cares. So when you look at within your own current life now, the people that you currently have, I'm not talking about the ones you are planning to add, currently now, an existing auntie, uncle, friend, neighbor that cares about you. Maybe they are the ones that just go the extra class, the extra mile rather, to ask, how are you doing? Oh, so what happened? And all that. Find out who they are and then repurpose those relationships. The challenge I have seen in our generation is that many of us want to chase people on social media, the ones that look like they are happening, in quotes. You want to be chasing those ones. Come and mentor me. Come and be my friend. Oh, let's hang out. Meanwhile, the person that is right there in Nigeria would say, what you're looking for in Sokoto is in your Shokoto. The person that is right there beside you, close to you, you are disregarding the person. How about you actually look at them and see them for who they are and repurpose that existing relationship? Do you know that you can actually repurpose a relationship with your sibling? It's very possible, because yes, I know that many times we always want to look out, But before you look out, first look inwards. Look within that your house, your brothers and sisters, your parents, your extended family, who looks like they like you a bit. Then how can you amplify to make sure that they really, really like you? How can you invest in them so that they are really loyal to you and care about you? So look for it and repurpose it. The next thing about it, the next way to get a support system is then you have to look out. Who would you like to be in your life? Who do you admire the way they do things and you would like them to be in your life? Many times it could be maybe a teacher, a coach, a mentor. But many times it could just be someone senior to you, maybe in the next class or just in the next level, even on the same level with you, but you can see that they are doing something well that you are not doing. Identify them first. You don't have to rush. Identify them first and begin to do your research about them. What does this person like? How can I be a person of value to them? Because people gravitate towards value. I know that sometimes it seems selfish, but that is what it is. People gravitate towards value. So when you identify who they are, then you ask yourself, how am I going to get plugged into this person? How am I going to demonstrate my value to this person? If it is a coach or a mentor, a teacher and all that, ask yourself, how can you serve in their vision? Maybe you go volunteer with them, or maybe you take their courses or sign up to their program so that it helps you to get in the door. Then when you're not getting the door, don't be a backbencher. I'm going to say it over and over again. Me, whenever I go anywhere, except it's just me that decide I don't want anybody to notice me. But if I go anywhere, I try to be the best. I try to shine, because when you shine, it is very easy for you to be noticed. You don't even have to do anything extra. Just by being an excellent person, you will be noticed. I'm not talking about doing busybody. I'm talking about when you just show up doing your work and doing it well, it gets you noticed. So always show up as a person of value. Always show up as somebody that has something to give to other people. And you see, you will not know what you have to give if you have not done your identity test well. So that is why, remember, I said identity is the foundation. Know who you are, know your strength. So me, I am a connector. As I go through social media, for example, I'm just checking what people are doing and knowing, and I'm just filing it somewhere in my head. Usually, people always reach out to me and ask me and say, who do you know that can do so and so for us? Who do you expect that will do so and so? And I always have people's name. Just till yesterday, somebody reached out to me to say, we're looking for 10 mentors in the social sector, that's in the development space, who have at least over 10 years experience. Off the top of my head on WhatsApp, I gave 4. And she reached out and she said, please, can you give us some guys? Initially, I wanted to write, I really don't know guys, but I said, no, I am a connector. It's my job to know who is there. So I'm going to go and do my research and get back and give them information so that next time when they need somebody, they will come and ask me. Because you have to make yourself someone of value. So when people are trying to achieve certain things on their goals, they will know that, oh, Ugochi is the person for the job. When I call her, she always has an answer. So please don't be that a friend of mine, don't be a don't know person. That's everything they ask you, I don't know. Everything they ask you, I don't know. No, find out. Say, could you just give me some time? I'll get back to you. Go and find out. Like now, I've not opened her message because I'm not ready to reply. I will do my research, then go back and reply with answers so that she will know. Whenever I need information, ask Ugochi. So you've got to go the extra mile, because remember, you need to stand out. You need to show yourself as a person of value. Okay, so I've talked about finding the people from the outside you would like to be in your life, and then showing up, getting into their spaces. And as you get into their spaces, shine and be excellent. Allow your identity to shine through. Show that you bring something to the table. See, what this will do for you is it stops you from always being the one that is needy. You are the one that wants to collect. You are now the one giving. People gravitate towards those that give. And giving is not money. Giving could be your time, your skills, your knowledge, your expertise. I am here giving. Yes, I'm here giving. I have a session. We have a panel session at NYU that is by 12. That's in the next maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes or thereabouts. And I'm going to be there asking questions, asking the panelists questions and stuff, giving. Because I want, when people remember me, she gave so much value, she moderated that panel so well. because that was the feedback I got on the last one I did, because I have to shine, I have to be excellent, I have to show I'm a person of, and that's what will make people want to be my friend. People want to get into my space because they know that she has positive vibes. So instead of waiting for people to come to you to come and ask you to be their friend, you be the person shining. You be the person giving help to other people. You be the one making things happen for others and watch it come back to you. It's just normal. So your support systems are going to be there for you when you have challenges, when you are in your highs. And the reason they are going to be there for you is because you have shown yourself as a valuable person. I have some friends that if I have a problem now, and I don't want to tell them what exactly the problem is, but I need prayer support, I'll just call them or send a message on WhatsApp and say, something is going on with me right now. I can't really talk about it. Please just pray for me. And they will start praying. They don't need to know the details, but they are invested in my life to start praying. Ugochi has a problem, let's pray. They will pray. And there are also those that say, okay, so this happened, I don't really like it. I'll be like, don't mind them. They will help me. And they're not serious, just because the truth is, as a human being, there will be those days where you just want somebody to, even though you know that we're all just being silly, but you just still want to hear it anyway. Yes, that's what your support system should be. It should be able to be silly with you. And of course, it should be serious. It should give you good feedback. Okay? So don't just always think of wanting to collect from people first. Be on a given level. And then what happens is that it is going to be reciprocated. It's just natural. And again, I have to sound this note of caution, because somebody might say, but I'm always giving, I'm always helping, but I don't have friends that do the same for me. I've actually had people who reached out and that was their complaint. They are the good one, they are the good friend, but nobody reciprocates that to them. And I'm reminded of what I think it was Tara Feladurotoye that said it, that you will reap what you sow, not necessarily where you sow it. So you just keep being good. The right people would come. The ones that take it for granted, no problem, it's fine. But the right people would come for you. Okay, so your support system is very important. The next thing is effective communication. So we've talked about your identity, know who you are, know what you have to offer, then layer that with your support system. The people that when you need to cry, you can call them. Something happened to me on Wednesday and I needed to rant. I just sent a message to one. I said, I want to rant. Say, I will call you very soon. And they called, I talk, I complain. I said, okay, so after all my complaining, and I said, so I know that actually I am supposed to be thankful because these are the advantages of what has happened, blah, blah, blah. But I still allowed myself to feel my feelings. And every human being needs that safe space where you can have those kinds of conversations and know that it's not going to turn up on Insta blog Niger. Because the truth is, you are all going to be great. You're all going to be powerful. And that means that people may want to use your gist to get some clout on social media. So that's why your support system is very important. It cannot just be anybody. And that's why you should stop chasing the ones on social media. Look for the ones that are currently in your life, who love you, who care about you. Love them too, care about them before you start looking for externals, okay? So effective communication, a gentle word turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Many times, the reason we have had problems with our relationships is because we did not talk well. Yes, we did not talk well. We wanted to prove we are right, we are right. We are right, we are right. Your rightness, how is it going to help the situation at the end of the day? So we've got to be very, very careful. So here are some tips that can help with that. I know somebody may say, but that's how I am. Me, I'm always blunt. I always say my mind. I do always say my mind. You do always say your mind. But you don't used to go and say your mind when you see a military man on the road. You don't used to go and say your mind when you have to talk to, when you go to maybe for a visa interview at the embassy. You know they always talk your mind. Your own talking your mind is selective. My dears, don't be like that. Don't say, that's how I am. People can take it or leave it. It's not good for you. So first things first in effective communication is you've got to be willing to learn, unlearn bad things, relearn new stuff, because we are all a work in progress, okay? Learn as much as you can, leverage tools, leverage resources. So for example, I know that the work I have to do is going to involve a lot of speaking. I have a game app on my phone called Elevate. It's a brain training app. Excuse me. And one of the things I'm trained on there is, speaking, the language, and so the different aspects of, speaking and all that, because I'm interested. Franca says she uses Elevate. I love Elevate. And then I also use Duolingo because I'm upping my French skills, because I'm going to be on the international scene and I want to be sure that I have at least the 2 major international languages. Do you see? So if I am doing that for those things, why can't I do that for maybe growing in my interpersonal relationship with other people? So because of that, I listen to other speakers who share about that. I watch videos on YouTube. Oh, very good. I can see our comment section is alive. People use Elevate, people use Duolingo. Awesome. So if you are already doing that, so why can't you improve your communication skills? So all of us, even me as I'm talking to you, we are all learning. We are all a work in progress. So don't think, oh, I'm such an effective communicator and that's it. No. If you were on 80, you've got to go to 100. If you're on 100, you've got to go to 150. You just have to keep on improving. You've got to keep on improving. You've got to, keep on taking it to the next level, taking it to the next level. Franca says I'm her soul sister. You've got to keep on taking it to the next level. If you are not improving, you are not stagnant, you are retrogressing. Yeah. So please ensure that you always want to learn. And one of the ways to improve communication, being an effective communicator, is being an active listener. Many people are not listening when others are talking. Instead, they are crafting their responses to what is being said. And that is not active listening. Sometimes when people are talking to you, they're not talking because they want you to solve their problem immediately. They are talking because they just want you to listen. Like the friend I sent a message to on Wednesday and I said, I want to rant. And after I finished ranting, they said, don't mind them. They are not serious. I say, yes, don't mind. And I laughed, even though I knew that they were just, just to encourage me. But exactly, the friend was not saying, this is how you should do it. This is, your job description at that moment was just listen to me. I just want to rant first. Allow me. So you've got to be an active listener, because you see, when you really listen to people, it shows them that you are interested. It shows them that you see them, that you hear them. And guess what? They're always going to come back to you. So I know, because people say, oh, I don't have friends. You be a good friend first. Trust me. Good friends are going to come to you. My mom is late now, but I remember that my mom used to say, which you have good friends. And it's true. I've been blessed with good friends. And interestingly, the devil tried to isolate me because of a bad experience I had in secondary school with a friend. And it made me to put all these, I had all these walls that you can't even fly, you can't jump the fence. Like, it's so high. Basically, God started to work on my heart and say, if you really want to say you want a beautiful relationship, you want a beautiful marriage, it starts from being able to accept friendships, being able to accept friends. And over the years, I have seen, like, I have the best female friends and then male friends too. I have good friends, like quality. I don't need to look. I have people that any kind of problem I have now, I know the exact person to call and my problem will be solved, even if it's just to listen. And it didn't just fall on my head. It happened over time, learning, taking feedback. I remember one time in university when one of my closest friends, she came to come and complain about me to me. You did this. Can't you play? Can't you do? I was just listening to her. And, it was a turning point because I was a very serious child. I was too serious for my own good. But, I learned. So seek feedback, take the feedback. Still, was it last year? I sent a message to each of my close friends and I said, please, I'd like you to give me feedback. What are the things I do and the things I'm not doing? Focus on the things I am not doing because I want to improve. And they all sent their reviews. So even though they were a bit trying to just tell me only the good parts, but somehow they were still able to slot in the ones that needed improvement. And it was fine because it helps you to grow. Don't think that you have arrived. You have not arrived. Keep learning, keep growing, okay? So I've said learn, unlearn, and relearn. I've said active listening is a superpower. Listen, because when you listen to other people, it helps them come closer. Practice what you are learning. So just like now, I've said so many things. Today, call one of your siblings or one of your friends. How have you been doing? Really listen to what they are saying. Really listen and support them. And then, of course, seek feedback. Then emotional intelligence is acquired. Nobody just landed on earth and had all the emotional intelligence. Everybody learned it little by little. Okay, so you too acquire it. There is not every time that you have to talk. It's not every time. There's a time for you to keep quiet. There's a time for you to say, okay, while I agree, your concerns are really legitimate. This is how I feel when this happens. So you've got to learn. And these things happen in the course of practicing. As you practice, you know when to do something or when not to do something. And then, of course, as you communicate with people, respect them. Don't just say, "Now, so I dey talk. That's how I am." That's not how you are. You, even if that is how you are, you can change, because you are not a tree. You are not concrete. You have a possibility of evolving. That's the good thing about the human nature. You can evolve into a higher being. So why do you want to stay there? That's how you are. And so please, respect is crucial. Learn how to talk to your friends, the people around you, as respectfully as possible. Learn how to communicate hard things in a respectful manner. It is so important. Learn, because if you don't learn how to have difficult conversations, things are going to be hard for you. You are going to miss opportunities. You will not meet your full potential. And so you've got to be willing to learn. So that respect is crucial. Trust is earned. It took me a while before I could trust people because of that bad experience I had. But over time, I tested my friends with little things. They did well. And over time, I was able to relax. So today, somebody says in the comment section, that's who I am. That's my family's way of expression. Yeah. Exactly. All that is just, no, it doesn't work. We're future forward people, right? We want to improve. We want to get to the next level each time, right? So trust is earned. As you want people to trust you, you too earn their trust. Because they now came to tell you something, doesn't mean you should go and publicize it for them. If they wanted to put it on a public address system, they know where to put it. But they came to you. So please earn their trust. Be a trustworthy person. Then avoid assumptions, because this is another thing that kills us. 2 + 2 is 4, but you have reached 10 and 100. When in doubt, ask, okay, are you saying that this is what you mean? Just to be sure that I get you right. Is this what you are saying? Ask. When in doubt, ask. You can never go wrong with asking. Just ask politely. So don't make assumptions, because that's one of the things that complicates communication, when people make faulty assumptions. So ask, and then learn to apologize correctly. When I got to this point, when I was making this slides and I got to this point, it made me laugh, because I remember something that happened on my family WhatsApp group. So my family, my siblings have our own WhatsApp group where we can do amebo and everything. And my dad is always, I don't know, we all have the African parents always sending WhatsApp message to everybody in the morning. My dad is one of them. So I think maybe one day he got tired of sending message to all of us like that. So he created his own WhatsApp group and put all of us, all the children there. So my dad, so we have a WhatsApp group, just the children, and we have a WhatsApp group with my dad. So when we want to gossip about my father, we go to our own. And when we want to treat our own issues amongst ourselves, we use our own group. Anyway, there was a conversation going on among the siblings, and then I'm the third. So I have 2 older ones and I have 3 younger ones. And then the last one insulted the one before him. He insulted her. He made a comment that had to do with her boyfriend, something. And the one after me said, "This is not how to talk. You better apologize if you want to become the man you are hoping to be in future." And the last one now wrote, "I am sorry." Do you know what the one after me did? He just said, "If you'd like to learn how to apologize properly, this is a link on an article that you can read that will teach you how to apologize properly." He now dropped one link of Grammarly, Grammarly.blog/how to apologize properly. Oh my goodness, I was laughing in my house. But you see, emotional intelligence meant that I could not go and laugh in the comment section, because if I laugh in the comment section, it will make that last one to feel defensive to apologize. So I replied privately to the one after me. I laughed and I said, that was a very interesting way of correcting, because I also needed to support the fact that he was doing the right thing, but I also had to laugh and say it was funny. But you see, I did not laugh on the group, because if I laugh, I will not go and cause World War III there. So you can see that emotional intelligence is very important all around. And so you've got to learn how to apologize. When you apologize genuinely, people know. I know what was funny. After the guy went to go and read the article, actually, and he came back and he said, I apologize or something. He should apologize correctly. Do you know the person that apologized? He's about to just apologize and be received the apology with her full chest. She just wrote noted. Like, these children, they are just so funny. But the point is, a message was passed and people learned. Plus, even those that were not involved in the conversation, that were just watching from the sidelines, they also learned from it. Okay, so you've got to learn how to apologize correctly. Maybe I will put the Grammarly link in the chat box when we are done, so that you too can go and learn how to apologize correctly. Now, we've talked about the first 3 power tips. I'm trying to wrap up. We've done identity. The second one was support systems. The third is effective communication. And the fourth one is negotiation. Negotiation is so important. Okay, let's start with the quote. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Negotiation is important because there will be times people are going to bring things that are not going to go your way. And it's not comfortable for you or for your next level. So you've got to be willing to negotiate. Don't say, let me not talk, so that they will not say. If you know it is going to hurt you or harm you or it's not comfortable for you, you've got to negotiate. And women, most especially, you've got to learn to negotiate, even when you now begin to get into love relationships. It's very important. So the example that came to my mind, I'm not sure if I should say, but I'm going to say it. So you know that the future that you have requires that you may not be available to cook a fresh soup or stew every night, but you are dating somebody that is already telling you that he does not eat food that stays in the freezer. It has to be freshly made, you know, and you are not saying anything. Then tomorrow you will not go and marry. You will not start complaining that they don't care. You chose to submit to his leadership by getting into that marriage. If you did not address it before, the next time to address it is then. And if that addressing it is not subject to whether they accept or not. But the point is, you had a chance to address it, to negotiate, and you refused because you were afraid that they will not marry you. If they did not marry you, there's somebody else that will marry you. There's so many sons of God on the earth, you know. So it's very important that both of you should have negotiation skills. There is a time to love and a time to hate. There is a time for war and there is a time for peace. There is a time to draw the line. So how can you negotiate correctly? First things first, understand and consider the other person. Remember, your active listening skills from effective communication is going to be important here. Understand, okay, so the reason you want fresh stew every day is because you feel like there's just a particular taste that it has, or maybe it's a particular vitamin that thing is giving you. Okay, is there any other way we can get this vitamin without it being freshly made every day? Have conversations. Don't be afraid to have conversations. And I want you all to become extra bold to have conversations. As long as you're having that conversation as respectfully as possible, making sure that the other person feels understood, you would make a headway. So understand where the other person is coming from and consider them. Then state what you want and why it is important to you. Explain with facts. Don't be emotional. Be very logical. Very, very logical. I remember when my last sibling, he couldn't speak to my other siblings on the WhatsApp group. He has an idea that is fine, but he just felt it was a last born. He will come and tell me. I'm like, go and tell them now, they are not lions. He had a challenge. And I can't remember, I've said so many times, I had to keep on repeating, they are not lions. You have something valuable to say. Communicate it as respectfully as possible, and they would listen. Today, the guy is running things on the group. He even has like a fan base now. Of course, when he messes up, they would give it to him. But people listen to his point of view, because don't think because you are small or you are young, your perspective doesn't matter. It matters. You just have to have emotional intelligence to communicate it properly. So first of all, understand where the other person is coming from. Next of all, don't be afraid to state what is important to you. Then offer a compromise. So this is what you want. This is what I want. If we all stay at our extremes, we're not going to get to the middle. How about we come to an offer that brings both of us to the middle? So be fair. Don't make the person be the one to come all the way to your end and you are not willing to make a move. Find a way to be fair. And then leverage the power of silence. There are times that you have to keep quiet. Again, active listening. Keep quiet and listen. Why is this important to you? Why does it matter? Listening properly makes that person feel heard. It makes them feel valued and they want to retain that relationship with you. And I'm sure by now you know that relationship I'm talking about here is not just boy-girl relationship. It could be relationship with your parents, your friends, your classmates, your colleagues, your superiors, supervisors, mentors, and all that. Leverage the power of silence and be willing to walk away. So when all is said and done, and this plan, this agreement still does not work well with you and where you see yourself, be willing to respectfully walk away. Respectfully. Power tip 5, final one, managing failed relationships. And I end this quotes, all our quotes have actually come from the Bible. With this quote that says, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. And nowadays, I feel so comfortable to talk about failure because one of the lessons I learned in 2020 is that the fact that you failed at something does not mean your entire life and destiny failed. It's just that one thing that failed. But why is it that so many of us, when we fail at one thing, my own is finished. Oh, it's all over. No, it's not all over. Only one thing failed, my dear. Just one like this. Just one. And so how can you now use just one thing that failed to say that your entire life is a failure? That is wrong. That is bad. That is disempowering because it now makes you to feel useless. It makes you feel that nothing is good. Instead, find out the other areas of your life where things are working. And say, okay, yes, maybe this did not work, but this works. What can I take out? What are the lessons I can take out from this failure experience and move on? So how do we do that? Conduct an honest review. So I always tell, sometimes I say to people that I may not tell the whole world exactly what I feel about an issue, but when I sit down with myself, when I have a board meeting with me, myself, and I tell myself the truth. I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have said it. And because she said it, she shouldn't have said it, but okay, even you know that you shouldn't have said this. Okay, I agree, I shouldn't have said this. Yeah, even though she annoyed me and all that, I could have done better because I know better. Have an honest review. Tell yourself, this could have been better. Okay, so this is a lesson I'm taking out. So it means next time when I find myself in so and so situation, this is how I am supposed to react. This is what I'm supposed to do. Conduct that honest review. Take note of the lessons you have learned. Plan to do better. Then move on and actually do better. It's just as simple as that. But many times, a lot of us want to build estate in that place of failure. It's all over. It's all over. Nothing can come out. Who says nothing can come out of it? Who says? So please conduct an honest review, take note of your lessons, plan to do better, because the truth is what is going to make you to do better is the fact that you have done this review and you have made plans. Okay, next time when something like this happens, when I begin to see so and so signs, it means this is a likely thing that can happen and I don't want that to happen. So these are the kinds of things I would do. Put things in place. So because I don't like drama-filled friendships, when you begin to show me the sign that that is the way you want to go, I begin to remove myself. I begin to reduce the amount of times we have to have a conversation. When you reach out to have a conversation, I'm all polite. I'm not saying more. I'm only answering the questions that you asked me. Straightforward, no branching, because I don't want my matter to enter somewhere else. Simple. So you've got to plan and then move on. Yeah, so I made a mistake. Oh, this didn't work out well. I'm going to do better and then eventually do better. So developing good relationships and communications takes time. Nobody just landed on the earth and had everything. It's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. You are a work in progress. It's a lifelong journey, but starting now makes a very huge difference. And let me see. Oh, yeah. So that brings us to the end of our session. Thank you so much for listening to me. So I'm up to answer questions. If you have questions, now is a good time to ask. And I want to stop share so that we can all see each other properly. Okay, so please share with me, what are your highlights? What are your thoughts? If you have questions, now is a good time to share. I think I've overshot my runway in terms of time, but that'll be all from me.
No, we love it like that. I mean, we wish you could stay longer. Seriously, like we wish you could stay longer. And today's session is like a master class. Like it is a master class, put it that way. It's a master class, and there's so much to really unpack from this session personally, and there's so many things I'm taking away. But I would love those who are on the Zoom call to be able to ask their questions now that you're here. So please ask your question, everyone. Let's see if we do have questions. Okay, good. You know, earlier today I was telling somebody about choosing to be right and choosing to win. No, sorry, choosing to be right or choosing peace of mind. So which one do you choose? Do you want to choose to be right, or do you want to choose peace of mind? Which one do you choose? Because sometimes in life, you just allow some, you allow some, how do I put it now? You just allow some things to just go so that you can actually have peace in your life. But sometimes the fact that you want to just win, you want to be right all the time, then you're going to get into trouble. Very big one. It will be very messy. You will lose people, you will lose good people, people that love you. Because it's more of like you just being right, like with what is happening with Ukraine and Russia, right? Somebody wants to be right and not doesn't want to choose the path of peace. So the fact is that more people will suffer, more people will die, and then you will make more enemies. You have more enemies than friends. Right. So I mean, it's part of the things I just learned from today's session in terms of like the tips you've shared with us. So please, if you do have questions, please ask. Oh yes. Tolu said you need to learn how to filter friends and get more to fill a space if needed. If that's a very strong statement. If at all. If. You don't say because now there's vacuum. If there's vacuum now, oh yeah, there's space. Okay, guys, come in.
Carry trouble and put no. No, if needed. And you see, you've got to be, it's conditional. You've got to be comfortable with yourself. I remember something happened this semester, and my dad called me to ask me some questions. And I told him, I said, Daddy, I don't need a lot to be happy. As long as I have internet, Wi-Fi, I have food, I can move about, I'm fine. I don't really need a lot. And I have my friends. My friends are just a call away. So I don't need a lot. So many times I can be in my apartment here and I don't really feel the need to go out, except maybe I have to go out for classes and all. And I am fine. I just love the peace that I have. And I'm still making my impact, solving the problems I'm called to solve. No drama. My mentor normally says drama distracts from destiny. And she's so right. Because you're there solving problem. By the time you finish solving problem, your energy has finished. You want to go and sleep. You can't do anything. You know, so no. Let's use that energy constructively. Okay. Friendship is great. Friendship is beautiful. But you've got to be willing to even be a friend to yourself first. Know who you are, know what you carry, so that you are able to, give it. And one of the conversations I had with a friend, yesterday, we've not spoken for maybe some weeks, but yesterday we did a catch-up call. And I said, I'm so thankful for the kinds of female friends I have. Because I'm not calling you every day, but you know that maybe there's a problem that you have and it's only Ugochi that can solve it. And you would reach out to me. And you know that I would drop everything for you. And you know that every time we have our conversation, it's almost like we continue from where we stopped the last time. No drama, no, he did not come in yesterday. No, now. We all have busy life. We all know what is going on, right? But we all know that we have each other's best interests at heart, and that when we need one another, we show up for one another. Yes, I'm a graduate student at NYU. Yes, someone sent me a message. Yeah. So you've got to be very intentional about relationships. Be that person, and you will see that good friends will start coming towards you. And every interaction, they'll feel blessed that you are there. For you too, you feel blessed that, oh, I have such an amazing friend. Life goes on. Okay. All right. So it doesn't
Amazing.
look like we have questions.
Yeah, but then I would love us to really like give Ugochi a round of applause, everyone. Please let's appreciate her for a wonderful, brilliant, amazing session. Thank you. It's a world class master class. This is a master class session. Thank you so much for this. And you did it so well. You did it so effortlessly. And thank you very much. There's so much I've learned from this. And we hope that when we reach out again to you, you'll be able to just say yes to us, because learning is progressive, right? You don't say I've graduated from learning, right? You keep learning. You keep, like I said earlier on today, that coming to this fellowship is not about how much you have achieved as a person or how much you have accomplished in yourself. The fact is that there's so much that you have to unlearn. I mean, like there was a statement you made, and I'm going to process that statement, and I hope that God will help me to like have more understanding. You spoke about repurposed relationships. Repurposed. That's a very strong statement you've made there. And I think it's just left for many of us on this Zoom call to be able to look at the relationships in our life and how to repurpose them. Probably just make readjustment and know where probably who fit into where, right? Who fit into where, and probably sometimes we discard people. Okay, go ahead.
So this repurposing, when I was actually saying that, I actually wanted to give an example of my younger sister, but because you have mentioned it, I'm going to say it. I had to repurpose my relationship with my younger sister. So yes, she looked up to me. She wants to be like me and all that, but I had to elevate our sisterhood to not just share my sister. She's also like my mentee. She's also like my friend. She's also a prayer partner. So there was a day I was saying that when I have problems, she said, you talk to me. And she was also feeling so cool with herself that she knows that I will always call her and give her the gist of what's going on. And I remember that something happened at my friend's wedding last year. Helped my friend organize a wedding, and there was some friction and stuff. And that friend, instead of her to come to me and tell me what her challenges were, she was afraid to talk to me. She went to go and ask somebody else something. That person also concurred. By the time she had the lever to actually come and speak to me about the issue, I talked her through. I said, so this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. She's like, oh my goodness, is that what happened? People and all that. So I told her, negotiation. I said, in future, if you have a problem with me or you are worried about something, you are not sure, 2 ways. Reach out to me directly and ask me, or ask my younger sister. Only 2 of us will give you the answer you need. Don't go about talking about me or asking other people anything. And she said, no, I will ask you. I will ask you. Since then, if she wants to say anything, she may take her time because she's afraid. I really don't know why she's afraid to speak her mind to me. I really don't understand. But whenever she's ready, she comes and she says, it's something I want to ask you. And then she speaks, because we had that conversation. So you can repurpose your existing friend, your sibling. Like whenever I need maybe to pray about something, or there's something I need to talk about, I can call my younger sister and say, see, this is what is happening. I'm praying for the family, but I also need you to stand in the gap. Let's join together and pray. So now she sees she has more responsibility. She's not just my sister. She's a friend. She's also a prayer partner. We are on a project, to help our family. So don't always look outside first. Look inside first. There's one auntie that you probably have that she's so nice. She's like, how is everything and all that? She might be the one that can give you advice for your business. And you are there wanting Instagram celebrity. Not like Instagram celebrity is bad, but come on, before you go there, check the one you have. Don't underrate them maybe because they're not on Instagram or they're not Instagram worthy in quotes. And what is that? Why will you say somebody is not even Instagram worthy? Maybe you think they're not your level. When they will give you the advice that will help your destiny, you are using Instagram that may not be there tomorrow. Instagram, was it there when you were born? Instagram may not be there tomorrow. So we've got to be very careful. Our generation, sometimes we want flashy things. We've got to be careful that we don't lose out on real value because we are chasing things that are flashy.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And we're going to wrap it up from there today by going to the second session today, which is developing and supporting mental health initiatives by Aisha Buba, who is the founder, and also she's a psychologist and the founder of Sunshine Series Mind Wellness. And the first thing I'm going to do first is to play a video from her. And then from there, I will invite her to speak, hopefully when she's available.